Welcome friends, myself Saptaparni from BioLive. Hope all of you are doing very well. Today we are going to discuss about previous year's NTSE SAT biology question paper. So today we will discuss last year, that means 2021 NTSE stage 2 biology question paper. I have already created a playlist of NTSE exam in my channel. You can find it in the playlist section of my channel. And in that playlist I have created a detailed informative video regarding NTSE where you can find all the information about NTSE exam that you should know, and you can find the previous year's question paper also. Okay, so don't forget to check out the playlist of NTSE. The link is given in the description box below, and also the pop-up will be shown in the I button above. So see, in the stage 1 the questions are of informative type. If you just read your books very carefully, you can answer those questions very easily. But in stage 2 the questions are concept based, so you need to get a very well concept about biology to crack all these questions of biology, and there are some tricks too. Okay, so today we will discuss about the tricks also, so this video is going to be very useful for you. Okay, so without further delay, let's begin. And before beginning, if you are new to my channel or watching my videos regularly, I would like to request you to kindly subscribe to my channel by pressing the bell button given below. And if you find this video useful, don't forget to like and share with your friends. And if you have any doubts, you can message me in my Facebook page, Facebook group, or in my Instagram profile, or you can directly leave a comment below in the comment section. So okay, let's begin. The first question asks, see here, a taxonomist during his voyage found a solitary marine animal with spines on skin made up of calcium carbonate. However, its coelom was made up of pouches pinched off from the endoderm. Assign the specimen to the most appropriate phylum. So here you have to assign a specimen which have these three characteristics. It is a solitary marine animal. It has spines on skin made up of calcium carbonate. It is coelomate, and the coelom is made up of pouches pinched off from its endoderm. So which phylum shows these kind of characteristics? For answering this kind of question, you have to know very well the characteristics of each phylum. So all these characteristics are seen in phylum Echinodermata. Okay, so the correct answer would be option D. Now coming to the second question, which is very interesting yet tricky question. If you don't know the trick, you cannot answer this type of question. Okay, so here an individual with genotype capital A, capital B, small b, capital C, small d, capital E, small e is crossed with another individual of genotype capital A, small b, capital C, capital D, small d, capital E, small e. Okay, two individuals of different genotypes are crossed, and following the Mendelian pattern of inheritance, you have to predict the proportion of offspring having small a, small b, small c, small d, and small e genotype. Okay, so for answering this kind of question, you have to cross each genes of two individuals, and you have to find out the required genotype percentage or proportion, and then you have to multiply all the required genotypes proportion, and you have to get the actual answer. Okay, so see here, capital A is capital A. Here you can find, let's okay, you can find here capital A small a is crossed with capital A small a. So capital A small a is crossed with capital A small a, and your required one is what? Small a. You can find that out of 4, one is small a. Next, capital B is crossed with small b. Okay, capital B is crossed with small b, and you can find out of 4, 2 is of small b, which is your required genotype. Then capital C is crossed with capital C small c. Capital C is crossed with capital C small c, and there are only one small c. Okay. Then small d is crossed with capital D small d is okay, and you can find two small d here. Okay. then capital E small e is crossed with capital E small e, and you can find only one small e is here. Okay, so now you have to cross all the required proportion of each genes to find out the proportion of these genotype in the offspring. So we have multiplied these proportions, and we have found that the proportion of small a, small b, small c, small d, and small e genotype containing offspring is 1 out of 256. That means if these two individuals are crossed and they form 256 offsprings, then one of them will be of these, only one of them will be of these genotypes. So the correct answer is option D, 1 of 256. Okay. Now coming to the third question. Which one of the following 4 methods of propagation is likely to lead the maximum variation? Maximum variation in DNA sequence is found in case of sexual reproduction. See here, the option A, budding in yeast, binary fission in amoeba, and vegetative propagation of sugarcane. All of these are examples of asexual reproduction. Only the option C, reproduction in human beings, is the example of sexual reproduction. So the option C will form maximum variation, as it is an example of sexual reproduction. Okay, so the correct answer is option C, because in sexual reproduction the crossing over occurs, which leads to variation in DNA sequence. Okay, now coming to the question number 4. In case of biomagnification, a laboratory received equal quantities of 3 sample MNO, and the pesticides found in them are as below. Okay, 1 mg of pesticide is found in M sample. In N sample, 0.2 mg of pesticide is found, and in O sample, 3 mg of pesticide is found. In biomagnification, pesticides gets accumulated gradually increasingly from the basal level of the pyramid to the upper level. Okay, see here, if this is the pyramid of biomagnification, in the basal level the amount of pesticide, concentration of pesticide is lowest, and at the above and at the top level it is highest. Okay, so in biomagnification the concentration or amount of pesticide is getting magnified or increasing gradually from the basal level to the upper level. So at the basal level, obviously 0.2 will be there, then that means N will be there, then 1, that means M will be there, then 3, that means O will be there. So here if you read all the 4 options, you can find that N means the producer, okay, the primary producer, that is grass. So here grass is in this option. In option B, N is in the middle, so grass, the option B will be the correct answer. Grass, then grasshopper, then the adipose tissue of the birds. Okay, the option B will be the correct answer. M, N, and then O. Okay, M, N, then O. Okay, got it? Now coming to the 5th question. Here is an illustration of pyramid is given of aquatic ecosystem. Okay, the number of aquatic ecosystem. The number of aquatic ecosystem, here is the pyramid, and you have to find out the pyramid of energy for the same. See, in the pyramid of energy, always remember it follows the rules of 10% rule of Lindemann. That means at the basal level of the pyramid of energy, the energy is always the highest, okay, and at the top level the energy is lowest. From each level, from each trophic level, only 10% energy get transferred from the lower level to the adjacent higher level. Okay, that means the correct answer would be option D, because only in here you can see the energy is getting decreasing, okay, getting decreased. Okay, at the basal level it is highest in the phytoplankton. See, if it then zooplankton it is decreased 10%, then in herrings it is decreased 10%, and in the sea lion it is decreased another 10%. So the phytoplankton contains most energy and the sea lion contains the least energy. Okay, so the option according to the Lindemann's 10% law, the correct answer would be option D. Now coming to the sixth question. Which of the following traits would be an evolutionary biologist consider to understand the divergent evolution process? So, to understand the divergent evolution process, we have to find out the homologous organs. Divergent evolution process means it is a kind of evolution process where different species evolves from same ancestor due to their habitat, their presence in different environmental condition. That means their ancestor is same, so they share homologous organs. Homologous organs means those organs which have similar kind of structure because they have diverged from the same ancestor, but their functions are different. Why? Because they are inhabiting in different environments. Those are homologous organs. So here option D shows the homologous organs. Examples of homologous organs: human arm, shield, forelimb and wing of birds. All these three organs are similar in their anatomy or their structure, but their functions are totally different based on their different habitat. Okay. Now coming to the question number 7. In adjacent agricultural lands of nearly equal dimensions, two farmers A and B had cultivated crops of their choice and observed standard practices. A pathogen attacked the crops and destroyed them in the land belonging to farmer A, as a result which he has suffered a complete loss. Okay, a pathogen has attacked the crops of farmer A and all the crops got destroyed and he has suffered a complete loss. Okay, farmer A has a complete loss, whereas the pathogen also attacked the farm of farmer B, but he is able to earn some money by selling his yield. That means he has not suffered from a complete loss. Okay, like farmer A. So what will be the possible explanation? See here, if these are the two lands, this is of farmer A and this is from farmer B. Farmer A has cultivated only one crop. This is the yellow one is the only one crop. Okay, that is why when the pathogen have attacked, the pathogen have destroyed all the crops, okay, of farmer A, because he has cultivated only one type of crop and the pathogen has attacked all the crops. But farmer B has cultivated two types of crops and the pathogens have destroyed the yellow crops, but could not destroy the pink crops. Okay, that is why the pink crops are well, okay, those were good, and the farmer B have sold those pink crops and got some money. So that means farmer A has cultivated only one crop, whereas farmer B have cultivated two crops. So the correct answer is option A. Okay. Now coming to the question number 8. A biology teacher placed hen's egg in 3 different solutions: pure water, saturated salt solution and in HCl. See what happens if you put an egg in pure water. The egg is covered by an calcium carbonate shell, okay, egg shell, and pure water cannot invade the egg shell, so there will be no change. Similarly, if you put the egg in the saturated salt solution, okay, then there will be also no change because the saturated salt solution also cannot invade the eggshell. But if you put the egg in the HCl, okay, hydrochloric acid, the acid will invade the eggshell and it will expose the semi-permeable membrane of the inner portion of the egg. And after that, if you put it in pure water, what will happen? Endoosmosis will occur. What will get inside the egg and the egg will swell. Whereas if you put it in the saturated salt solution, exoosmosis will occur and the egg will shrink. Okay. So here you can find that First, if you put it in A and B, that means water and salt solution, then nothing will happen. And if you put it then in HCl, the calcium carbonate layer or eggshell will be degraded. So but here it is written that the egg remains unchanged, so it is the wrong option. Then if you put it in salt solution, nothing will happen. Then if you put it in HCl, the eggshell will get lost, and then if you put it in water, it will swell. So it is the correct answer option. Next, if you first put it in HCl, the eggshell will be invaded, and if you then put it in water, the egg will swell, and if you then put it in saturated salt solution, it will then shrink. So it is also correct. Next, if you put it in option B, that means in salt solution, it will get exoosmosed, then that means it will shrink. Then in pure water, it will get swelled, and then in HCl, then nothing will occur, because first if you put it in B and A, nothing will occur actually, because the eggshell is intact now. And at last, if you put it in HCl, the egg now the eggshell will be degraded, and obviously it will not lose its salts. Okay, so it is also wrong answer. Okay, so the correct answers are option 2 and 3. So let's see, in option C, the option 2 and 3 are given, so the correct answer is option C. Okay, now coming to the question number 9, tadpole. In water without iodine, tadpole remains tadpole, but in water with iodine, okay, without iodine it remains tadpole, but with iodine it gets metamorphosed into frog. Why does this happen? Because iodine helps in formation of thyroxine hormone, and thyroxine hormone is necessary for the metamorphosis of tadpole into frog. So the correct answer would be iodine helps in production of thyroxine. Okay. Now coming to the 10th question, in a test tube you have put saliva and iodine, and then you have incubated. In test tube B, starch and saliva, and in test tube C, starch, saliva, enzyme inhibitor. Then you have incubated, and then you have put the iodine. What will happen? What color will you see? Okay, in those test tubes. In test tube A, okay, you have put saliva, which contains salivary amylase, and you have put iodine with that. Okay, see, salivary amylase alone cannot do anything. So if you put salivary, the saliva and iodine, if you mix those two, only the color of iodine will show. So the test tube A will show yellow color. So then if you, in the test tube B, okay, it is in the test tube A, and in the test tube B, starch is mixed with saliva. Starch is broken down by the salivary amylase of saliva into the maltose, but as there is no iodine present, it will not show any color. Okay, so the test tube B will show no color. Now test tube C, starch and saliva and enzyme inhibitor. That means now here salivary amylase cannot work, so the starch will remain intact in the solution. Okay, the salivary amylase cannot work because the enzyme inhibitor is present. So salivary amylase cannot convert the starch into maltose. So the starch remain intact, and now if you put iodine in that solution, it will show the bluish black color. Okay, the bluish black color. So the test tube C will show bluish black color. So the correct answer is option A. Okay. Now coming to the question number 11. Here some markers are given, and you have to find out the organelles. Okay, see, organelle 1 contains cytochrome oxidase, which help in ATP synthesis. Which marker, the cytochrome oxidase which help in ATP synthesis, obviously will be in our mitochondria, because mitochondria is our powerhouse. So option B or C, anyone can be the correct answer. Now the ribosomal rRNA, which is present in our ribosome, where is it present? It is present in rough endoplasmic reticulum, but not in smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So the correct answer would be obviously option B. Now acid hydrolysis, or those are found in our lysosomes. Lysosome contains 40 to 50 types of acid hydrolysis. Okay, so the option C, the organelle C will be lysosome. So the correct answer is option B. Okay. Now coming to the question number 12. Here some organs are given, glands are given, and their secretory products. You have to find out their secretory products. See option C, E. E is the pituitary gland. Okay, so it will form follicle stimulating hormone. Now option D. Option D is the parathyroid gland, which will form parathyroid hormone. Option C. C is the adrenal cortex, which will secrete adrenal cortex. Let me erase this one. Okay. Here, first see option A. A is our ovary, so it will produce progesterone. A with 1. Okay. Now option B. Below the stomach there is pancreas. So, pancreas produces insulin, so B with insulin. Option C. Option C is adrenal cortex, which will produce aldosterone, a mineralocorticoid. Okay. Now option D is the parathyroid gland, which will form parathyroid hormone. Okay, so option D with parathyroid hormone. Then option E is the pituitary, which will form our follicle stimulating hormone. See here, option A is matching up with all these options, so the correct answer would be option A. Okay. Now coming to the last question. Virulent forms of bacterium staphylococcus is a human pathogen. First, it was the antibiotic penicillin was used to control this pathogen. After some years, penicillin got ineffective. Then methicillin was used, and methicillin also got ineffective after some years. And the strain shows multi-drug resistance. Okay, why does this occur? See, this kind of situation can only occur when in the population of bacterium, antibiotic helps to select those bacterium with mutation in the DNA, conferring drug resistance. Okay, so in the DNA sequence of bacterium there are some mutations which may confer drug resistance, and when we are using antibiotics for a longer time, those drug resistant mutant bacterium got selected in that population, and as a result, after some time, that antibiotic got ineffective, okay, against that bacterium, and you need a new antibiotic to treat that, to kill that bacteria. So the correct answer would be option B. Okay. So got it? With this we end our today's question answer session here. If you have any doubts, you may leave a comment below in the comment section. For the time being, thanks for watching and happy learning.